Today we're going to talk about issue number 6 of Like Father, Like Daughter. This series, which we reviewed the first 5 issues of, was written by friend of the channel, Kat Kalemia. For more reviews of comics both mainstream and in the indie market, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Kat's channel Comic Uno is also a great source of reviews of comics, and serves as a useful companion to Comic Island as she generally focuses on different and fun content distinct from ours. With that stuff in mind, let's begin. 8 years ago, the superhero known as Invulnerable went through his divorce, with him unable to resist the need to protect innocent people, and his wife Jessica apparently unwilling to put her daughter through the life of having to be a father to a superhero vigilante. Their breakup felt like the only natural course of action. But that was then, and this is now. Jessica has work to do. Meanwhile, a man and an older woman meet in the park. She tells him that Jim, also known as Invulnerable, may be in trouble, and it is all her fault. Later, she is surprised to find Jessica waiting for the older woman at her home. Jessica used to admire this woman and was a famed agent of the KGB when it was operating, but has since learned not to believe in having idols. There are no real heroes. The older woman just states she betrayed Russia to protect Jim, her son, asking Jessica what is more important, children or country. At Invulnerable's apartment, Casey and her friends are hanging out, but start to worry after waiting for hours and he doesn't show up. Little do they know, Invulnerable is in the midst of a brutal interrogation. Jim is shocked when Jessica enters his holding cell, revealing she was a former KGB agent who remained loyal to Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union. She explains that she gave Jim superpowers when he was a baby before sending him back to America, to eventually be used as a sleeper agent, though the plan never came together with the collapse of the Republic. But the agents have come together with a plan, and if Invulnerable doesn't agree to work with them, Jessica claims they will go after their daughter. Privately, she admits to a fellow agent, who she seems to be romantically involved with, that this should work as sufficient leverage against Jim. When her partner asks about Casey, Jessica reminds him that if her daughter had any powers, she would have turned her child in a long time ago. They watch quietly as Invulnerable screams out in pain and frustration. So this is a fun issue that really caps off a number of ideas that have been teased since the beginning of the series. I really like this particular book as it finally gives us a fuller picture of what Like Father, Like Daughter is all about in a way that has been only kind of given to us in little flashes of imagery throughout the series so far. While the original idea of a daughter discovering her father is a superhero that she's inherited powers from is still there, other ideas are suddenly much more in play. Certainly fatherhood as a theme has been explored in comics before, but everything about a collective of former KGB agents creating a sleeper superhero feels remarkably fresh and a pretty cool idea in spite of the distance we are politically from the Cold War. The very premise of a Superman-like figure secretly being an agent of a foreign country works really uniquely in conjunction with that dynamic of fatherhood. That left me pretty excited for the rest of the series. We get a bigger picture of where things might go from here. And I think there's a lot of setup here in terms of what happens with Jessica when she inevitably finds out that Casey does indeed have powers. The art remains consistent, which is great for a series that's just about as indie as they come. On that note, if you'd like to support Like Father, Like Daughter, you should check out Kat's Kickstarter, the link to which we'll put in the video description and a pinned comment in this video. You get a ton of comics out of donating as little as $1, so it's a really good deal. All told, in a series that's always been full of potential and has been teasing these ideas for some time, this might be my favorite issue yet. I left number 6 with a big smile on my face, really satisfied with the number of the answers we got here. There was a million ways this book could have gone wrong. The KGB could have been cartoonish, or the story could have been firmly rooted in the past of the Soviet stuff, but it's all made clear that these are all former agents sort of picking up the pieces of what's left from that time, including, as it turns out, a full-fledged superhero. And that stuff's pretty good. And all the stuff with a blackmailed superhero could have easily been written clumsily, but I felt it was quite well executed, and uniquely pays off. I quite like these former Soviet agents and their plan, and how they went about it. It's pretty messed up if you think about it. Casey seems to have been essentially created by this couple entirely to be used as leverage against Invulnerable. And the amount of destruction they can, in theory, cause with a superpowered being makes this whole thing very interesting. Meanwhile, there very well might be another superpowered character out of all of this. I'm not really sure where that meeting's going between that older woman and that black gentleman, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next, so I really have to thank all the great people that consistently fund Kat's series. I absolutely recommend you check out this series and that Kickstarter page for yourself, and consider donating. Thanks for watching this video, and thanks to Kat for agreeing to appear in our Top Comic Book Dads stream, which was a lot of fun, and we talked about comic book dads that didn't abandon their children in the name of protecting them. I mean, no offense or anything, it just doesn't strike me as a great dad move. We did talk about Invulnerable a little bit on that stream, and it was a good time overall, so you can check that out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Comic Island.